Welcome to The Kingdom Sleeps, the fantasy bedtime story decided by the roll of a dice. My name's Andrew, I'll be your story master for this evening.
And my name's Tom, and tonight I'll be playing the role of Yohm.
If you'd like to catch up with the story so far, you can check out our previous episodes, or if you'd like to know more about the lore of Sopros, you can check out episode 0.
Well, before we get going, Andrew, I'm actually a little bit curious about something, if you wouldn't mind enlightening us.
Certainly.
Obviously, now I've got my friend Tonto in tow. Looks like we might be heading off to ask some questions, maybe see some friends, maybe heading back to civilization a little bit.
Certainly.
And I'm just a bit curious how the people of a major city like Suncult might react to me and a Mamu
that's
walking around.
Very good question you've got there. Because as Yohm would know, the people across the Kingdom of Sopros react to Mamu in fairly differing ways. Those in the Schwarzuna Desert and of the city of Suncult are probably a little more lax than other people across the kingdom might be with Mamu. So if you were to enter into Suncult with little Tonto in tow, you're probably not going to have too many people actively trying to dissuade Tonto being around, though you may get a few funny looks. And it might be the case that particular places they may not want Tonto around, as the general vibe and sort of air around Mamu is very much in contention at the moment within the Kingdom of Sopros, with other places across the kingdom being fairly defensive against them and especially wary given all of the recent tumultuousness with their behaviour. So he may be okay to get across some areas, but some caution is definitely advised for Yohm while travelling with Tonto.
Yeah, good to know, I guess. Good to know. Well, exciting times. Let's hope it goes a little bit better than our recent adventures.
Let's hope so. So if you're ready, Tom,
I'll invite our listeners to close their eyes, make themselves comfortable, and join us where the kingdom sleeps. So, after having spent quite a peaceful evening by the fire, becoming more acquainted with your new Mamu friend Tonto, learning some new and interesting things about his curious abilities, and having woken up in the morning to the sight of some of Tonto's large pink Mamu friends, he hailed from the sky, healing young Kiren, and then shortly afterwards yourself of your ankle ailments. Everyone seems to be in good shape as you set off this morning, though Kiren is perhaps a little disgruntled by all of the events over the last day or so. And you begin to make your way towards where you hope you'll find the rest of the Harvesters Guild have stationed themselves. And so you walk now in the full morning sun of the desert towards the entrance of the cave, which now just begins to appear over the brow of a sand dune, some way off in the distance. And you can see it now. It's this big, protruding, wide, sort of oval dome that lifts itself up out of the sand. It almost looks like a gaping mouth with this large, craggy lip that forms the archway of the entrance of the cave. Like I say, still far off in the distance for the moment, but you can just about see the silhouettes of the rest of the Harvesters Guild standing somewhere near the entrance of this cave, much to your relief.
And so, as you carry on that last little way towards the entrance, Tonto skips along across the sand beside you and says, "I'm so excited to meet your friends. Do you think they'll like me?"
I'm pretty sure my actual friends will. Bear in mind, some of these are acquaintances, if you will. So don't pay them any mind. They might give you a little bit of a strange look here and there, but their last experience with a Mamu was admittedly quite shocking, so don't worry about it too much.
What happened to them?
Oh, nothing too bad. Don't worry, Tonto, it's okay. It's just they had a bit of an ugly surprise one morning. But it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I hope they are okay.
They will be now. We're back.
Do you think they will be able to talk to me like you can talk to me? I have never spoken to people before.
I honestly don't know.
I hope so.
Me too. They're nicer than he is.
And as you look over your shoulder, you can see Kiren slumped over with his face looking down towards his feet, sort of shuffling in this strange sort of way, even though you know now that he is in good health. His spirits seem to be dragging him down to the floor a little bit, and he's made very little eye contact or speech at all to you since you left the encampment to head towards the Harvester's Guild.
I think usually Yohm would be quite happy at that fact, but I think even he wouldn't be able to deny that something's going on here, so... Kiren
raises his head very slightly up towards you.
What's got you down? We're back, look.
He looks just past your shoulder over towards the cave entrance. I'm just tired. I wish to go home.
We're almost there, alright? Keep your head up. You'll be fine.
He sort of almost grimaces at your words and kind of looks over his shoulder and out across the rest of the horizon of the desert. And instead of looking back to the floor, he does sort of, as you say, keep his head up a little bit as you make that last little way towards the entrance of the cave.
And remember, Kiren, you're in charge of these guys. Good impressions?
And you can see his eyes sort of darting around as if he's very pensive and very thoughtful. And it's here that you can see that his previous sort of arrogant demeanour has kind of evaporated, and he's now just holds himself with a state of almost pensive confusion. And so as you continue to walk, you get perhaps about 40 feet away from the entrance of the cave, and now it is that you can see the people of the Harvester's Guild a lot more clearly, and they've arranged themselves in a slightly strange fashion. So you see now that you're a bit closer that they've all huddled themselves together, and they sit on the floor, almost leaning against each other's backs, somewhat piled on top of each other. And they're just sat just on the inside of the entrance to the cave. Surrounding them are their own bright stone staffs that they carried before, but almost plunged into the ground like fence posts that encircle them. So they are sat down on the floor, encircled by this bright stone fence, almost. And in front of them are the 2 hound bags that they took with them, which seem happy and just are lazily enjoying the morning sun, almost like sleepy guards in front of their impromptu fence. As you make just a couple more steps towards the cave, still at a good 35 feet away, you see the image of Ren rising up out of this bundle of men on the floor and stepping forward past their makeshift fence towards you, but he holds his arms up in front of him and pushes his palms towards you and says, "Stay where you are. Is that you, Yohm?" And you can see him almost sheltering his eyes from the sun to squinting towards you.
Yes, Ren. It is I. And Kiren too. We're both safe.
Thank God you are okay. Yohm, what is that thing with you?
This is Tonto.
It has a name.
It does, and it is a very strange and very long story. What's happened here?
You better come closer. Make sure the Mamu stays where it is.
Why? This Mamu is the only reason we're here.
And at this point you can hear this mirth bubbling up from the Harvesters Guild miners that are on the floor. Sort of grunts and angry mumblings. And Ren reaches out his arms towards you once more as you begin to just subtly move forward. He said, "It is not a good time for Mamu to be near us, Yohm. Please just step away."
Ren, this is me you're talking to here. Trust me, this Mamu, it will cause you no harm. Now please, let me come closer so I don't have to shout.
Tonto looks up at you and says, "Is everything okay?"
It will be, just relax, Tonto, don't worry. You're okay.
Can you assure me you have that thing under control?
On my life, Ren. On his too.
Ren looks across at you, seems to look over at Kiren, over at the Mamu, and he reaches behind him, grabbing one of the staffs out of the ground, holds it in front of himself and says, "Okay, come forward, slowly."
Tonto, if you don't mind, climb on my back.
"Okay." And he very eagerly jumps up onto your back and puts his arms around your neck.
Now, Tonto, like I said, they've had a really bad morning, so just be your usual happy self, yeah?
"Okay."
Thank you. And Kiren, what are you doing? Talk to them. You're scaring them.
He sort of just shirks a shoulder towards you and keeps his eyes to the ground as he just slowly walks towards them as you do.
Useless.
As you begin to slowly step towards Ren, who still has his staff raised towards you, as he begins to notice that things are calm and nothing dramatic seems to be happening, he lowers his staff just slightly, and you stand about 5 feet away from Ren.
As soon as we get within comfortable speaking distance, Yohm is just going to drop down to his bottom and take a nice deep breath. He might not like to show it, but he's also had a day.
Oh, Yohm, it is good to see you. And you too, Kiren.
You too, Ren. It's, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, are you safe? Are you well? Is everything okay?
Yeah, on the by and by, aside from a couple bumps and bruises, as Yohm signals to his still somewhat aching leg and reaches over to Kiren's shoulder and sort of gives him a slap on the back. And this one's had a rough one, but mostly okay now.
I don't really understand what... And he just points his finger at the Mamu wrapped around your shoulders. This is very unusual, Yohm.
Yeah, it is. It was in that place, you won't believe it, Ren. Inside that Mamu was a world of its own. It was a cave and a castle, a jungle, a river, all in one. It was a dream, and within this dream, Kiren was... He was something else for a while, almost possessed, and this Mamu, Tonto, he was there as well, and we all needed help, and I don't even know how, but somehow we were here again and safe. And Tonto, do you want to introduce yourself to my friend Ren here?
As you say all of this, Ren furrows his brow mightily, and he also sort of stares at you very incredulously, and is not... you can see a lot of fear behind his eyes as you do this, especially as you request the Mamu to introduce itself. Tonto very happily sort of stands upright on your shoulders. Funnily enough, you can't particularly feel the jostling of weight as he moves around upon you, but his 2 feet stand on his shoulders, and he puts his arms out straight and says,
"Hello, I am Tonto. Nice to meet you."
And Ren just continues to look at you with a furrowed brow and says, "Something has happened to you, Yohm." And he looks deeply into your face and says, "Yohm, your eyes. Have you seen your eyes?"
No. What's wrong with them?
Yohm, you... And he takes like a small step backwards. You have the eyes of a Mamu.
What?
Who are you?
Ren, calm down. Okay, I cannot see what you can see, but I promise you I am still your friend. What, like, exactly the same?
You have the hexagonal pupils of that creature there. Is it controlling you?
No. Tonto, do us a favour, hop on down, will you?
And Tonto has a somewhat sort of sad, confused look on his face, but he hops down onto the ground.
I turn to him, Tonto, that is, and now unfortunately, Tonto, my friend Ren here cannot understand you. And believe it or not, I've changed a little bit since we last saw each other. So again, don't worry, he's not upset. It's just a little bit strange, so bear with us.
With a furrowed brow and still that sad look, he just plonks himself onto his bum and sort of sits cross-legged on the sand.
Ren, this is going to sound even crazier than everything I just told you. I can talk to this one, and it talks back to me. I know you won't believe it. I know you think I'm crazy. But I promise you, this one is smart. It is intelligent. And most important, it is kind. It's got the mind of a child. I don't know how this is happening. It must have been something from in there. I do not know. But if it wasn't for this, and I'm guessing these, as I signal to my eyes, we would not have made it out of that place. When we were in there, Kiren, his eyes were different, but not like a normal Mamu, black, like the void. A few of the Mamu were. It was strange. It was a darkness doing something.
Yes, I've seen what you mean.
It's coming back to me a little bit better now, but this one, Tonto, it did something, and it cured the darkness from within him, and that's when he almost got back to normal.
Yohm, you must understand that this is a lot for me to take in right now.
I'm, still trying to figure it out myself.
Tell me just one thing, before you step any closer. The night before the monstrous Mamu came, we shared a treat. You found it for me in this desert. What was it?
Well, it's your favourite. It's sweet root.
Thank God. And you can see him drop his staff to his side.
Oh, you stone cold son of a... You're scaring me there, Ren.
You are telling me? Okay, well, I don't quite understand everything that it is that you're saying to me, but I'm glad you are safe, mostly.
Yeah.
Perhaps we ought to have a discussion over here, and he sort of just ushers you to come a little bit away from the rest of the Miners Guild.
No. Tonto?
And Tonto looks up at you and just comes right by your side, by your shins.
Tonto, can you hear what Ren's saying?
I have not heard him say anything yet. Well, noises, but I don't understand them.
Huh. That's strange.
Well, Yohm, we have been through quite a lot ourselves since yesterday.
Yeah, they look shook. Are you all okay?
We made our way over to the cave entrance quite easily. It was perhaps half an hour after we left you with the monster. But we started to set up our equipment, and it was not long after that we were attacked.
By who?
More Mamu.
What?
Like you say, with these dark, black eyes. It's not like the other one. It was a swarm of these floating creatures. They attacked so suddenly, so quickly. They broke our equipment. They injured several of us. We have spent the last night and day just trying to heal their wounds. Things are getting dangerous here, Yohm. We will have to abandon our mission. I'm going to have to make a call, send a message with my... And you see him reach into his breast pocket and pull out another stone similar to the one that he gave you previously, but with a different kind of engraving on it. He says, I will need to send a signal now. Bear with me for one moment.
Wait, just before you do, Ren, just give it a moment, please. Firstly, is everyone okay? Can they travel?
Some of them will not be able to travel. I feel we may be able to get assistance if I explain the situation to the guild. But certainly not by houndback.
Alright, fine, yeah. Send your message. Just do me a favour and don't mention us, yeah?
Certainly. Yes.
Thank you.
And you see him just grab his stone and wander off just a little bit inside the cave. As he does so, you see him sort of raise it towards himself, and he begins to whisper into this stone for a minute or two. And then he waits, and it begins to glow. And you can see him putting the stone to his ear, once again, sort of like listening attentively for a minute or two. And he drops the stone by his side and quite wearily walks back over to you and says, "They have received our message. They are going to send an emergency blimp to come and take us and the rest of the guild. I don't think they're very happy about it. I think it will be at great cost to the Harvesters Guild, and to be honest, if the son of the head of the Harvesters Guild was not in our party, I don't think they would have done this at all. But they should be here within a few hours."
Okay. What are we gonna do? I know you're scared, Ren, but please, you've got to help me make some sense of this.
Yes. Yes, this is all very strange, isn't it? Well, certainly you're very welcome to come with us in the blimp back to Suncolt, if you wish. I'm sure there will be someone, perhaps a doctor, someone of medicine who can help you with your eyes. And
yeah, I've got someone I trust there. I don't know how I feel about flying, though.
Well, I'm sure you would be welcome if you wish to. Of course, you're very welcome to take your homebacks and...
Yeah, I appreciate the offer, Ren, but... You know, me and the guild, we don't gel too well.
Certainly.
We'll probably make our own way somewhere. Probably better for the rest of the gang as well.
You can stare over at them now, and you see that the majority of them are just watching you and Ren and the little Mamu very keenly at this point.
Yeah, I think it's best we be maybe a little bit careful.
As you wish.
Did you tell the guild it was a Mamu attack?
Well, yes, Yohm, I had to.
No, of course, sir. I don't blame you people. Need to know. I can't explain it though, Ren, but I trust Tonto. More so than maybe my own senses at the moment. It's hard to explain.
You be careful, Yohm. I don't know what's happening for you, but I think what would be best, as a friend, if you consider me one, to try and find out what has happened to you and maybe leave the Mamu as quickly as you possibly can. We don't know what these things are capable of.
No, you don't. I can barely believe it was real, but not long ago this morning, Kiren there, who was a wreck, all beaten up, and Tonto here somehow corralled 3, 4, 5 pink Mamu, maybe, I'm not sure, and they came together and they healed him.
Say healed.
Better than I've ever seen anyone from the guild. No unctions or ointments, nothing. They just emanated vitality, and I could see it right in front of me. The vigor coming right back to him.
Kiren, is this true? He shouts over to Kiren, who now sits by himself, not with the rest of the guild, but just slumped up against one of the walls of the cave, looking down, still as somber as he was before. He looks up over to Ren, just nods his head quite fervently, and then puts his head back down. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
I think this is information I will have to pass on to the guild. This is miraculous.
But it's also a coincidence, is it not? The same day that we were attacked is the same day where we're saved. You're right in thinking something's changing, and I don't know what. And I've seen when it looks bad as well, and yeah, I don't blame you lot for being scared, but there's something more to it.
It seems like there certainly is. Yohm, you need to take this information, everything you've seen, this Mamu here, find some kind of, I don't know, expert.
Yeah. I'll have to go to some cult.
I think it would be wise. Are you sure you would not like to travel with us? We will be there within hours, I think. It will take you perhaps more than half a day to get back to even the villages outside Suncold.
I just... give me a moment. And I turn around and kind of sit with Tonto for a moment and start unpacking my bag, or what I have left in it, and sort of taking stock and just processing all these different thoughts and the paranoia of the guild and the oncoming questions, and trying to be brutally honest with myself about how I'm feeling. Tonto.
Yeah?
Now, things are going to get a little strange. Some of the other Mamu have been doing some bad things.
Oh.
You know, like the ones we saw before.
Yes.
And, well, these guys are worried that you might do the same thing. I'm not. But they are. But nevertheless, we need to get help. Because there's a lot smarter people out there than me, and they might know something more about you.
Yohm, I think I did do bad things. I think I'm better now, but I was so scared before. I don't know if I will always be myself again. It was you that helped me. I feel better now, but I think I did bad things.
We've all done bad things, Tonto. When we're scared, when we're angry, when we're hungry, when we're cold, and when we're lonely. And it's not a problem, Tonto. It just makes you normal, like the rest of us.
I don't want to do the bad things.
And that's good. And you're going to stick with me, right?
Yeah.
Then, let's make a promise. You help me and stop me from doing bad things. And I'll help you and stop you from doing bad things.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to worry.
I promise. Like this.
And he takes the coin that you gave him from before out from the center of his being, pulls it out and hands it to you.
I promise.
Yep. I promise. You're magical, Tonto. And we will figure something out. And we will make more friends. I promise you.
I would like that.
This lot just a bit stiff, like I said. We're going to a big place soon. It's going to be a lot. A lot of people like me, like my friend Ren here, like Kiren, some others too. It's going to be noisy, and it should be exciting.
It sounds like fun.
It can be, if you're in the right mood for it. But like I said, I definitely have some friends there, and I know for a fact one of them, she'll like you.
Then I want to meet her.
And there'll almost certainly be more Mamu.
Oh, good.
Probably some nice ones too.
I would like that. Maybe I will find more of my old friends.
Yeah, I hope so. But before then, we're probably going to have to take a ride. Some people are coming here to pick everyone up, take them to get some help. And I've never taken a ride like this before, but I think we're going to have to.
What kind of ride?
Well, we're going to fly on a blimp, Tonto.
On a blimp?
Yeah, I've only seen them dashing across the sky there. They're kind of like clouds with carriages.
Oh. That sounds like a real fun.
I don't entirely get how they work. I know it's something to do with Brightstone, but...
Is it similar to flying on a Mamu?
I guess.
I've done that lots of times. It's really good. Have you not flown on Mamu?
No. I stayed safely on the sand.
Well, if it's even a little bit like it, you'll really like it, Yohm.
I will see.
Okay.
Cool. Alright then. Ren.
Have you made a decision?
Yeah. We'll come with you.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Yohm.
We'll see about that. And the reason why you're the only one from the guild I bloody talk to.
Yes, I will admit, I am the best of them.
Yeah, you're right about that. Now, suppose we should go and talk to the lads.
Yes.
Actually, Kiren.
He looks up over at you with that moody face.
I know you're half as confused as I am right now, but I assure you, whatever just happened, it happened. And I don't need to help you get that wrapped around your square head or not. It happened. Whether you believe it, whether they believe it, I don't care. It happened. And the sooner you sort that out in your head, the safer you'll be. Alright? I don't know why, I don't know how, but we'll figure it out.
And he just looks down to the ground, looks back up at you, looks back down at the ground again. And he rolls onto the ground and lays down almost as if to begin to go to sleep.
Yeah, rest well, mate. I'm telling you, Ren, it was something else, but it was beautiful in its own strange way.
Yes, Yohm, it certainly sounds like... Well, it sounds like a dream. Come, Yohm. Sit down. Let me see what provisions I have for you. You must be thirsty as well.
Yeah.
And Yohm, you're invited to sit down by Ren. Just a little bit away from the rest of the camp still.
And give her the classic nonchalant wave that Yohm would do to the rest of the team down there, fully accepting that he's not going to be able to convince them to change their ways. He's, I guess, maybe not entirely sure if they should change their ways right now, but he knows they're not in any danger right here, not from this one.
Your wave is mostly met with scowls by the Harvesters Guild, apart from one young man who you recognise to be the one who was quite ill and dehydrated from the very first night, who raises an arm and gives you a small smile as you do so. But when you sit down, Ren offers you some refreshment, and you enter into a time of somber reflection for a little bit, but it's not very long at all, perhaps just another hour of waiting before, in the sky above you, descends this huge blimp. It's this massive, bulbous red balloon that seems to have this sort of bright white energy flaring in the center of it, just above this sort of, from what high up in the sky looks like a large basket attached to the bottom, and it makes this loud, very loud but very low kind of whirring noise as it begins to descend and come and land upon the sands just nearby, and actually begins to spread a little bit of wind that creates these ripples in the sand below as it very gently lands in front of you, and you can see its huge enormity. And a member of the guild, very well dressed, very regally dressed, steps forward out of that basket, which you can actually see now is quite a large vessel, and steps towards your group, and raising a hand just halfway between you and the blimp, ushers the group over, yelling, "Come now!" And everyone, very thankfully, seems to get themselves up quickly, grabbing their staffs, grabbing their packs and the equipment that they have left, and begin to usher themselves towards the guild member, towards the vessel. And Ren looks to you, getting up himself, says, "Well, I think it's time to go."
Yep. Tonto, hop on.
Tonto almost glides up your back and puts his arms around your neck as he did before.
Now, stick with me, yeah?
Always.
Promise is a promise.
As you join the back of that line of miners that head towards the blimp, and Ren ushers on the houndbacks behind you, you are suddenly stopped just before entering, as the guild member looks to you and then looks to Ren and says, "Who is this?" And Ren says, "Oh, he was our desert guide. He brought us to this place initially." Gives you a steely look. Each looks to you directly and says, "No, Mamu." And sort of scowls at the situation that he sees in front of him.
I step uncomfortably close to him, eyes staring into his. "This one's coming with me."
"No, it ain't. No, Mamu. Do you hear?"
"Fine." Spits down onto the ground. "Ren. See you when I do."
"Oh, Yohm, please.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Is it really worse that Mamu? You'll save so much time. Are you?
I don't blame you for not understanding, Rem. I don't. But I can't leave this thing. Not now.
You look after yourself."
Always do. And you? I'll be coming to collect my marks.
You can see the representative just sort of shrugging his shoulders and turning his back and heading over into the blimp.
So Tonto,
Are we going in the blimp? It looks amazing.
it does, doesn't it? But, no, we're not gonna go today.
Oh,
I should probably have told you before. I like Ren an awful lot. The
I like Ren.
smaller one there.
Yeah, the smaller one.
Yeah,
I don't understand what he says, but he has a funny face.
He's one of my good friends, but honestly, I don't really like most of the others anyway. And I think it'll be nicer to walk.
Okay. Well, if you're going to walk, I'm going to walk.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I know what you mean. I don't like all of the Mamu anyway. Just some.
And as you talk, the blimp begins to whir up once more and rise into the sky, up to quite an elevation before it almost strangely, impossibly quickly sort of begins to glide towards the direction of Suncold.
I'm not sure if I'd have liked that anyway.
Yeah, it is very different to my Mamu.
And you guys, a lot more elegant.
Ha, I agree.
Well, Tonto, we're going to be heading that way. And it's going to maybe take us to nighttime. And when we get there, you know, that friend I was telling you about, the one that's going to be really excited to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice. You'll like her. Her name's Hannah. And she's just outside of the big city I was on about earlier.
Okay.
And she'll give us a place to rest. And yeah, she'll know something.
Okay. Do you think there will be Mamu there?
Oh, almost certainly. Sunalaga's the kind of place I like, which is quite a special thing.
Oh, then I am very excited.
It's near where I grew up.
Oh. You have lived in the desert all your life.
As long as I can remember. Yeah. Around the place.
Me too.
Tonto. Now, this might sound a bit weird, but I notice when you're climbing on me, it doesn't feel like much here. And I sort of gesture for him to try and hop into my arms a little bit. And I give him a sort of a gentle bounce to begin with, just to sort of assess his weight and feel what he's like.
And he does hop up into you, and you can always feel this like watery chill, as if washing your hands as you grab Tonto, and as you sort of bounce him around, almost like you might have a toddler in your arms. You can feel that it's not such that he doesn't have weight, but almost as if something else is supporting that weight for you, so that it is lessened, like you hold him in a sling that doesn't exist.
Now, I was just curious, Tonto. I've noticed you like hopping around.
I love hopping around.
Well, would you mind if I threw you?
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We'll just do a little one to begin with.
That's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now be careful. Okay. And I just gently, like you might be letting down a playful cat, give him a gentle hop forward towards the sand in front.
As you throw Tonto in front of you, you watch this very strange defying of your understanding of physics as he glides forwards, almost like a skimming stone through the air, and then slows down very gently whilst remaining in the air as if the air were like honey. And then, as you see the smile on his face, he spreads his arms out and he begins to then float to the ground from side to side like a feather and plop onto the ground.
You really do go with the flow. Wow. You're really going to help me out someday, Tonto.
Oh, I hope so. You've helped me already so much.
Thank you. You're special in the world I'm used to.
Oh, the same, Yohm. You're so different to all the people I know.
If you have any questions, if ever you want to try and throw me, don't be afraid to ask.
Huh. Okay. Can I try?
Yeah. Just be a bit careful on this side, but you're welcome to give it a go.
And Tonto shimmies his way over to you with haste and gets behind you, being quite a lot shorter than you, drops to your ankles to try and sort of pick you up straight into the air. And you hear quite a lot of scuffling and heaved noises. But he seems to have no sort of like ability to even begin to lift you off the ground.
Oh, you must be very strong, Yohm. I can't lift you.
Oh, that's okay. I'll do the lifting, you do the floating, and it'll work out.
Huh. Okay then.
Nice. Well, I suppose we should mosey on.
Okay.
And then Tonto, once again, leaps and floats through the air to land on top of one of the two houndbacks that stand with you now.
I will take this one. You can take that one.
Yeah, that sounds nice. And I gently walk up to her and start stroking her on the back like I used to before. But this time I sort of crouch down and bring myself almost face to face with the houndback. After Ren's reaction of seeing me and greeting me with such a surreal and alien look, I suppose I'm just looking for a bit of familiarity, to be recognised as a friend.
And it's very much reciprocated, as the houndback that you've had for many years now, from a pup, is very pleased to see you, whilst still, exhibiting its lazy demeanour. It's certainly happy to see your face again and nuzzles itself up against your side.
Yeah, girl. Come on, one more stop. I'm gonna go see Hannah. She feeds you silly. Let's go, girl. And I clamber myself on a little uncomfortably because we don't have our usual effects, but comfied and on foot. And I give Tonto a little nod. I let out the classic whistle and began soaking in the breeze.
Lovely. And as you let that shrill whistle out, your houndback begins to trot forward with a little bit of speed, and you feel that gentle desert breeze just blow past you and almost gently refresh you as you start onwards on your long journey. And you notice that the houndback that Tonto rides, Tonto begins to sort of usher it forward without any sort of great success, though once you go out ahead, the houndback does then just instinctively follow the pack, but not by any sort of means led by Tonto. Seems almost unaware that Tonto is on its back. But as you head out towards the horizon in the direction of Sunalaga, what are the prominent thoughts in Yohm's mind at this point?
He's desperate to get some sort of validation at the moment. He's holding it in better than Kiren is, that's for sure, but his mind is on the brink, trying to make so many different disparate thoughts into some sort of sense, and trying oh so hard to remember some of the strange dreams he had leading up until this strange event. And I guess for once swallowing some of his humility and starting to think that he is a bit different, and some strange things are on the horizon.
They certainly are. As you head towards that horizon, we'll give Yohm some time on his long journey to think over all that's happened and see what answers are brought to him on the other side.